Hello world and welcome to G-Analysis, where we take something interesting about gaming and analyze it. The Xbox Scorpio has been announced by Microsoft at E3 last year with a promise of gaming in 4K with a 6 teraflops GPU. The official and finalized specs of the Xbox Scorpio have just been revealed by Digital Foundry on Eurogamer, and Microsoft seems to be delivering on the promises. One special piece of news has just been revealed though, and that is the inclusion of FreeSync technology. This news made us very excited and we wanted to tell you why you should be too. The 6 teraflops performance of the Scorpio seems awesome and will easily enable true 4K gaming. However, Scorpio's CPU only gets a small upgrade relative to the Xbox One. It is practically the same processor and gets a 30% bump in the clock speed. The hardware level implementation of DirectX 12 will also increase the performance a bit, but compared to the 330% increase in the graphical performance, this will still be a very tiny hike and could potentially bottleneck the system. Looking at this makes it clear that Microsoft is targeting 4K at 30 FPS rather than higher frame rates. The good news is that the Xbox Scorpio will support AMD's FreeSync technology, which allows the graphics processor to communicate directly with the display, and that is brilliant. Let's explain how TVs currently work first. They usually update their image 60 times per second. This means that if you play a game at 30 frames per second, the display will show each image twice, and it will all appear quite stable. If you play the game at 40 frames per second instead, the display will show some images twice, and some others just once, which will make the video feel a lot less smooth. Higher frame rates generally mean that the game feels smoother and is more comfortable to play. Up to this point, console developers had the choice between making the game smoother at 60 frames per second, but cutting the graphics in half, or making the graphics look as good as possible, but making the game feel less responsive at 30 frames per second. The developers were therefore unable to choose something in between, and would therefore have to put in great effort to optimize for either choice. Using FreeSync, you will now be free to choose the frame rate you wish to play at, or more likely, the developer will allow you to unlock your frame rate. FreeSync technology allows the graphics processor to tell the display when to update the image. That means if you game at 40 frames per second, your monitor will adapt its refresh rate to display 40 frames per second. Any frame rate between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second will then feel much smoother than before, allowing the player and the developer more choice between graphics and responsiveness. Oftentimes, when you game at a locked frame rate, you actually have some graphical power to spare, which is only used in a demanding situation. You may actually be able to run a game at a higher frame rate most of the time, which would make it feel much smoother. That means with FreeSync, you can unlock the frame rate to always use the device to its maximum potential. This would make your game feel as fluid as possible, while your display refreshes its image at exactly the same rate as the console does. We ourselves had the pleasure of experiencing FreeSync for quite some time now, and we can tell you, it is awesome. As a PC gamer, the settings menu has practically become obsolete, as the game will now be fluid in pretty much all cases. It made the game experience so much better, and the best part about it, as its name implies, is that it is pretty much free. FreeSync needs to be supported by the display though, but since it is part of the DisplayPort and HDMI standards nowadays, most TVs and monitors are actually just a firmware update away from having it enabled. The price to the display manufacturer to include FreeSync is negligible, and therefore most of them will probably just add it in once enough interest in FreeSync is established. If you are looking to buy a Scorpio and a TV or monitor in the near future, make sure that it has FreeSync. Displays with this feature usually only cost slightly more money, and this tiny investment is definitely worth it. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of our content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We also have an announcement to make. You may vote on how much a game is really worth now on our website. Simply register on it, and then you may enter in the field next to the score on how much you think the game should cost. We hope you like it, and are really looking forward to your votes. All in all, take care. We hope to see you around.